What is up, everybody? It's Dante Walton here. Today I'm going to give my spoiler review for episode 5 of The Last of Us, Endure and Survive. But before we get things started, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more content like this coming soon. Yes, this will be my spoiler review for episode 5 of The Last of Us. If you're not caught up, I will be giving spoilers, but like I said previously, I have not played this far in the game, so I don't know what's coming up like later, or at least in terms of the game, so I won't be spoiling anything from the game or anything like that. So yeah. Wow, this episode was very good. I gotta say. Um like in my review on the last episode, I thought the episode was good, but it just wasn't like that great territory that I thought like the first 3 episodes really hit. But I don't know, episode 4 really set the stage for episode 5 to be incredible, I gotta say. Man, sorry, I'm still a little bit reeling from like the ending there. I honestly didn't see that coming, but yeah, anyways, let's talk about this episode. It starts off 10 days before the events of episode 4, during the insurrection where the resistance like overthrows Fedra, and we see them like pretty much drawn and quartered. They're like dragging them in the streets, killing them, all this stuff. And let me just kind of like flash forward to something that Henry said later on in the episode, telling Joel that Fedra has been raping, torturing, and murdering people in Kansas City for the past 20 years. And what he said is very insightful, that if you do that to people long enough, when they get the chance, they'll do it right back to you. And you see that's exactly what they're doing to Fedra. And you see Kathleen, she has all the collaborators, as they're called, rounded up. She wants to know where Henry is. And yeah, because Henry is the one who gave up her brother, who we learn later on was the leader of the resistance, to Fedra in order to get medicine for his little brother Sam, who has leukemia. Yeah, like she's like lying to them, saying that, oh, you have your fair trial and all that, but then later on just tells Perry to just kill them and then just burn the bodies. We see that her whole thing is just, she's blindsided on revenge. Like last episode when Perry tries to show her like the crumbling ground and all that, we now know it's because the infected were just underground and they were just waiting to escape, you know. She just focused like, oh, we just need to find Henry. That's the number one priority right now. Instead of just being a leader to these people, you know. She kind of became the de facto leader, I guess, after her brother died. I do now know, I didn't know this watching episode 4, but yeah, Perry is played by Jeffrey Pierce, who was the actor that played Tommy in the Last of Us video game. So that's cool that he got a role here. We definitely get more insight into the character of Kathleen as well. She talks about Michael, her brother, how when they were kids that there's a storm outside and he will just like make her feel safe and protect her and all that. And that's the same way that Henry is towards Sam, that they'll do anything to protect their siblings and make them feel safe. And I think Kathleen can see that. Like she even says she knows why Henry did what he did, that it was for Sam, but she doesn't care. She wants revenge. Her own brother Michael told her that she should just forgive Henry, but Kathleen doesn't see the point in forgiveness. And that ultimately becomes her downfall, because at the end of the episode, she's still like, after all the infected become free and all that. I'll talk about that scene later on. But yeah, after all that, like she still wants to kill Henry and all that, but then she doesn't like notice the threat that's really more imminent, and she gets killed by an infected. So yeah. But talking more about Henry and Sam, I really liked, I don't know, the performance obviously from both of them. Henry played by Lamar Johnson and Sam played by Keivonn Woodard. I just really like seeing the bond between them. And I liked how they're paired through most of the episode with Joel and Ellie, and kind of comparing and contrasting the two. Like Joel and Henry are both kind of become the father figure for Sam and Ellie, you know. And as I said, like, especially with last episode, we saw how their relationship has become strengthening and that they start to trust each other a lot more. But as Henry is kind of relating with Joel, he does tell him about the reason why he ratted out Michael, Kathleen's brother, and all that. He says that it makes him a bad guy because he did a bad thing, but it's interesting that Sam sees himself, and maybe Henry too, as like superheroes, you know. Obviously he likes that comic book, Savage Starlight, and he draws like pictures of him like beating up Pedro and all that, and Henry calls him Super Sam, and he paints like the orange face mask on him, so he has like the superhero persona. All of that was really cool. So interesting how I don't know, like the two ways of seeing things, you know. And I really did, man, enjoy Sam and Ellie's like bonding they had like over different things, like the them laughing together over the book of puns. Henry saying that he hasn't heard Sam laugh in a long time. Sam and Ellie bonding over the comic book, them playing soccer or football to some people together, all of that. It just leads to like the emotional climax at the end where they're in the motel room and they're actually being vulnerable towards each other, asking, like Sam's asking Ellie like if she's ever scared because she doesn't look like she's ever scared, and Ellie says all the time she's scared of being left all alone. And then Sam asks, if you turn into a monster, are you still you inside? And he reveals that he's been infected. Ellie, like, obviously she had good intentions, but like a little ignorantly says like, oh, my blood is medicine, and like cuts her hand open and kind of tries to put blood over the wound to hopefully heal him. And she says that she'll stay up with him, but she does fall asleep. And when she wakes up, Sam has returned and then attacks Ellie. And then Henry kind of panics and picks up the gun and points it at Joel because he doesn't want anyone to hurt Sam. And then Henry, I guess maybe instinctively or I don't know, like shoots Sam. And then he kind of questions like what he did. Like he did all this just to protect Sam and then ends up having to kill Sam anyways. So then he puts the gun on himself and ends his own life. And then Joel and Ellie, like, yeah, they dig the grave. And Ellie leaves like on the writing pad, "I'm sorry," over Sam's grave. And it was definitely the most depressing end to an episode so far in The Last of Us. But and you can kind of see Joel like looking at it, kind of feeling, I don't know what he was feeling, honestly. Like him reflecting on, I think, Sam and Henry's relationship and how that relates to Joel and Ellie. But I don't know, I'm honestly really excited to see what happens next episode. Like, I mean, yeah, they're heading west again. Like, I wonder if they'll be in Wyoming already next episode. But yeah, and also like another brother relationship, a lot of brother relationships. Joel is obviously doing this all for Tommy, which I think might be his younger brother. So yeah, I think it is his younger brother. So maybe he's thinking too, like what Henry has done for his own little brother, what has Joel done for his brother? Like he mentioned last episode that him and like Tess and Tommy and like the other like crew had possibly killed innocent people in order to survive and all that. So maybe he's thinking about the stuff that he's had to do for his own brother and family. Okay, now going back to that scene. Oh man, that scene at night when they're Joel, Sam, Henry, and Ellie. I don't know why I said in that order, but anyways, four of them are escaping Kansas City. They're pinned behind the car. There's a sniper in the house nearby shooting at them. Joel manages to, sneak up behind him. He reluctantly has to kill him, you know. I like how he's like begging him, please, just all you need to do is put down the gun, stay here for 1 hour, and that's all you need to do. But he reached for the gun again, and then Joel had to kill him. But he hears on the walkie-talkie that Kathleen and the rest of them are coming here. So Joel takes control of the sniper, and leads to like an incredible like action scene here. Incredibly tense as well. My heart was beating out of my chest. I could feel my heart. I rarely feel that like watching a show or movie or anything. When Kathleen had them at gunpoint and like Henry surrenders and all that, but he says to let the kids go. But Kathleen says that they still have to die because Ellie was with Joel, who killed Brian, and Sam is with Henry. And she says that she knows the reason why Henry did what he did, but maybe Sam was just meant to die and you can't mess with fate, which I know we're not supposed to like her, but like really made me hate her so much by her saying that. Henry had told Ellie, be ready to grab Sam and just run out of there. But before like Kathleen could do anything, that's when all of the infected erupt. A big truck, you see it in episode 4 as well, with like the plow in the front that says run, like chasing down Henry, Sam, and Ellie. All of that was like, oh man. And then Joel eventually shoots the driver. The truck plows into like a house and eventually seeps in the ground, causing all the infected that apparently Kansas City drove underground 15 years ago. And yeah, they were just waiting to escape. All the infected just erupting from the ground. Oh my goodness, I could not believe that, including a giant infected. I believe, like I said, I haven't made it this far in the game, but I do know a little bit about the game. I believe that's called the bloater, like the big infected that came out, and then eventually, like you see him just rip Perry's head off. I'm like, oh my god. The infected are really scary in this show. But that was just all those people just running out, all the infected. Again, I love the movement and everything. It just really sells it. And Joel is still like up in the window, like using the sniper, trying to shoot infected and all that. Ellie takes Joel's advice from the previous episode and like crawls on the ground and sneaks through like a window in the truck. But then this little girl infected, it reminded me of Lily from Barry. I don't know if you've seen that episode. One of the best episodes of the show, but she reminded me of that for sure. Just like crawling into the window. But Ellie eventually escapes, and then she actually sees that infected or trying to get to Sam and Henry. So she goes and like she stabs them and like gets them off. We do know later on that Sam did get infected though. That whole sequence was incredible, from like the sniper in the window, like shooting at them, like behind the car, to Kathleen holding a gunpoint, to the infected coming out. All of that was just masterful and just incredibly intense for me. But yeah. Anyways, I thought this was a great episode. Let me know what you all think down below, and I'll catch you all next time.